Hello, friends. Welcome back to the JJ's Declutter podcast. I'm Julie.
And I'm Janis. And today is the day, declutterers. Today is actually the day.
Last episode, we did the head work. We talked about the 7 reasons we keep clothes that we never wear: identity, guilt, fantasy self, body changes, memories, money, and just in case. We asked some honest questions. We did our Decluttering Dozen challenge, and hopefully you've been doing a little honest noticing in your closet this week.
And now it's time for the hands work. Today is the Great Closet Purge. We are walking you through the actual process of decluttering your clothes step by step using our Keep or Let's Go system and our flat surface scramble method. And we are going to do it in a way that is manageable, not overwhelming, and absolutely not going to leave you sitting on the floor surrounded by clothes with no energy left to deal with any of them or saying, "Does this spark joy?"
Oh my God. Okay, so you start strong. Everything comes out of the closet. It's over the bed, and then life happens. And 3 days later, you're sleeping under a pile of your own unresolved fashion decisions. We're not going to do that today. We have a system. Let's go.
Before you start, setting yourself up for success. Before we touch a single hanger, let's talk about setup, because how you prepare for our closet purge matters almost as much as the purge itself. And skipping this part is exactly how you end up with the pile on the bed situation we just described.
First, give yourself a realistic time commitment. A full closet purge is not a 12-minute job. We're going to use our 30-minute block structure here. 24 minutes of active sorting followed by a 6-minute break to hydrate, step back, and assess where you are. Plan for at least 2 or 3 of those blocks, depending on how much you're working with, and decide your end time before you start, not when I'm done. An actual time, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever works for your day.
Second, gather your supplies before you open that closet door. You need 4 bags or bins, one for donation, one for trash, one for items that live elsewhere in the house, and one for your not sure yet pile. We'll talk about that last one in a minute because it is important. You also want a laundry basket for keeps that need to go back in and a cleaning cloth, because once that closet is empty, you're going to want to wipe it down before anything else goes back in.
Third, and this one might surprise you, put on music or a podcast, something you enjoy. Closet purging is more fun with a soundtrack, and keeping your energy up matters. Just maybe not this podcast, because then you'll be listening to us tell you what to do while simultaneously trying to do the thing we're telling you to do. And that can get confusing.
Yeah, we've had people try that. It doesn't go well.
Fourth, and this is very important, clear a sorting surface before you start. Your bed works perfectly. Lay a sheet over it if you want to keep it clean. This is your staging area, and having a clear, flat surface is essential to the flat surface scramble method working properly. So let's talk about the flat surface scramble. You've heard us mention this before in other contexts, and the principle's the same here. You're going to clear everything out of one section of your closet, get it onto your flat surface, wipe down that now empty space, use wax paper to rub on the bar so that your hangers will slide smoothly, and then sort through what you pulled out using our Keep or Let's Go before anything goes back in.
We want to emphasize the word section here, not the whole closet at once. One section. Maybe that's one side of a double closet. Maybe it's just your hanging clothes. Maybe it's just the shelf above the hanging rod. Maybe it's just your tops. Maybe it's just your pants. You pick the section and you work that section completely. And then if you have time and energy, you move to the next one.
This is how you avoid the pile on the bed disaster. When you walk in, when you work in sections, you always have a clear path back. The clothes you've sorted go back in before you pull out the next section. It feels slower, but it's actually faster because you're never stuck with everything out all at once and no idea where to start.
So here's how it goes: pull everything out of your chosen section and lay it on the flat surface. Don't sort yet, just get it out and get it visible. Then wipe down that section of the closet. Seriously, do it now while it's empty because once things go back in, you won't do it for another year. And then, and only then, you start sorting.
Let's talk about Keeper Let's Go, applied specifically to clothing because clothing decisions have their own particular flavor of difficulty, and we want to set you up to move through them quickly and confidently.
Keep. That's pretty straightforward. Does this item fit my body right now? Do I actually wear it regularly? Does it fit the life I'm actually living? If the answer to all three is yes, then it should go back in the closet. Simple. And you might want to put it in with the hanger backwards so you can tell what you've actually worn.
Um, LE is for lives elsewhere. This is clothing that belongs somewhere other than this particular closet or section. Maybe it belongs in a different season's storage. Maybe it belongs in the guest room closet for when family visits. Maybe it belongs in your spouse's closet because somehow it migrated. Lives elsewhere items go in your lives elsewhere bin and get relocated after you're done sorting.
He is trash. Stain beyond wearing, stretch beyond saving, broken zippers that you have never once taken to be fixed and never will, anything that's simply worn out. These go straight in the trash bag, no guilt required. Worn out clothing has done its job. Let it go with gratitude. Now, in California, Target has just started this program where you can take clean, used clothing, doesn't have to necessarily be wearable, but they want it to be clean. You can take that and you can recycle it as a textile at the front of the store. So you might want to Google whether or not your Target is participating in this. I just started getting pop ups about Target in California. And Julie looked at some of the Targets in her area and they didn't have anything to do it.
And I understand I'm going to have to ask, but I understand that Goodwill actually does send things that they don't, that they have pulled, that they do send them to textile recyclers. So
I've
I need to double check on that. But so let's see. Okay. S is sentimental. And in a clothing purge, this category deserves some special attention. If you pick up something and feel a genuine emotional pull, not guilt, not I paid a lot for this, but actual real memory and meaning, set it aside in your sentimental pile. These pieces don't get decided today in the middle of a purge. They get their own separate session, ideally using the process we talk about in our Tea and Treasures workshop. A wedding dress and a stained t-shirt do not deserve the same 15 seconds of decision-making energy.
and GO is goes out. This is your donation pile, your sell pile, your I know exactly who needs this pile. These are items that are in perfectly good condition, just not right for you anymore. They have more life to live, just not in your closet. And honestly, knowing that a jacket you never wear is going to warm somebody else is one of the genuinely good feelings that comes out of a closet purge. So let yourself feel that.
Oh my gosh, I gave my friend this jacket that I've had for years. I call it my Janis Joplin jacket because it looks like one of her jackets. It's flipping awesome. Love this jacket. But I have not worn this thing in a few years. And I don't even know if it still fits me. I have a friend I used to work with that I knew it was so perfect for her because she idolizes Janis Joplin too. And she's younger than me and she's littler than me. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to go give her this. So I got down there. She was at work and I brought it in and gave it to her as she's working. And the next thing you know, oh my God, she was so excited. She puts on that jacket and she is like spinning through the store, showing off her poses. And oh, it was just adorable. And it absolutely made my day, my week, my month. It was so cool. And it made it so easy to give that away. So it's like, okay, if I get this kind of response, I got a couple other things for people. So let's talk about your maybe pile because there will be one. There is always one. And a lot of decluttering advice will tell you that maybes are the enemy, and that you need to make a decision right now. That hesitation means it should go. And we respectfully disagree to a point.
A maybe pile is completely fine as long as it has a deadline. Here's what we recommend. Put your maybe items in a bag or bin, seal it, write today's date on it, and put it somewhere out of the way, not back in the closet. Give it 3 months. And you should put it on your calendar with an alarm. If you
Mhm.
haven't gone looking for anything in that bag in 3 months, you have your answer. Donate the whole bag without reopening it.
The key is the deadline and the location. Out of the closet, out of sight with a date. What you're really doing is giving yourself a trial separation from those items. And most of the time, 3 months later, you genuinely cannot remember what was in that bag, which tells you everything you need to know. So put a reminder in your phone. You'll be glad you did.
The only exception to the maybe bag is seasonal items. If it's November and you're purging and you hit a sundress you're not sure about, that goes in the seasonal maybe pile with a note to revisit it in spring. Give yourself the grace of appropriate timing on truly seasonal pieces.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's talk about the places where closet purges typically stall. And it's because knowing they're coming means you can push through them instead of giving up and going to make a sandwich and have a drink.
Sticking point number one, the expensive item you never wear. We talked about this last episode, but it bears repeating here when you're actually holding the thing. The money is gone. It was gone the day you bought it. Keeping the item doesn't recover the money, it just keeps charging you in guilt every time you see it. The most financially sound thing and mentally sound thing to do is to let it go and stop paying the guilt tax.
Absolutely. Sticking point number two, the item that almost fits. We all have at least one. And here's our honest take. If it doesn't fit today, it doesn't go back in the closet today. That doesn't mean you have to donate it immediately. It can go in the maybe bag, but it doesn't get prime closet real estate while it waits for a someday that may or may not come.
Sticking point number three, the gift you don't love. Someone who cares about you gave you this item. You don't wear it, you feel terrible about that, but here's the truth. The person who gave you that gift gave it because they wanted to make you feel good. If wearing it doesn't make you feel good, keeping it in your closet out of obligation doesn't honor the gift or the giver. Donate it. Let someone else love it. And keep the love of the person separate from the object itself.
Sticking point number four, clothes from a different body or a different life chapter. This is one of the most personal sticking points, and we want to handle it gently. You are allowed to grieve a body you used to have. You are allowed to miss a life chapter that is closed, but keeping the clothing doesn't bring either of those things back. And having them in your closet as daily reminders of a version of yourself that isn't current can actually make it harder to fully inhabit the life and the body that you have right now.
That's not us being harsh. That's genuinely wanting you to be comfortable and at home in your actual life. The clothes that fit you today, that work for the life you're actually living, those deserve to be the stars of your closet, not the understudy hanging hopefully in the back.
Okay, so you've sorted, you've made your decisions, your donation bag is satisfyingly full, and your trash bag is tied. Your maybe bag is sealed and dated, and the reminders in your phone. Now, let's talk about what goes back into the closet and how, because this part matters more than most people realize.
When you put your keeps back in, you have a golden opportunity to organize it in a way that makes getting dressed easier every single day. We're not going to go deep in closet organization today because that is episode building a closet you love, and we have a whole lot to say about that. But here are a few simple things worth doing right now while the closet is clear.
First, group by category. All of your tops together, all of your bottoms together, all your dresses together. This sounds obvious, but most people's closets are an archaeological dig through different eras of their wardrobe. Grouping by category makes it immediately easier to see what you have and find what you need.
Second, hanging things facing the same direction. Again, obvious, but it makes a surprising difference in how calm and functional a closet feels. It takes 30 extra seconds, and the visual payoff is genuinely satisfying.
That's true. And one thing to keep in mind, my husband's left-handed and I'm right-handed. So he hangs things opposite than I do. And so I try to keep that in mind because I can tell when he's hung something up for me because it's always backwards. And so that's something to kind of keep in mind. Anyway, third, your most put your most worn items eye level and within easy reach. The pieces you actually wear should be the easiest to access, not buried behind the maybe items, not shoved to the end of the rod, front and center. You've earned that closet space. Fill it with things that actually serve you.
And fourth, wipe down your shelves and vacuum or sweep the floor before everything goes back in. And as Julie suggested, you take a sheet of wax paper and rub the closet rod so the hangers slide easily.
Yep,
And I will say it again, a clean closet feels completely different from a cluttered one, even if the square footage is identical. Fresh space invites fresh habits.
gotcha. All right. Your challenge for this week is a big one. But remember, we're breaking it into blocks. Your assignment is to complete at least one 30-minute purge block on your closet this week. Just one. 24 minutes of sorting using Keep or Let's Go, followed by a 6-minute break to hydrate and assess where you're at.
If you finish that block and have energy for another, that's wonderful. If one block is what you've got in this week, that is a genuine win. You are not behind, you're building momentum. And momentum is everything when it comes to a project like this.
Absolutely. Take a before photo. Please take a before photo because when you're done and you look at that closet and it feels so much better, you're going to want to prove how far you've come. And we would absolutely love it if you shared that before and after in our Facebook community, ABC Declutter with JJ community. And we celebrate every single win in there, no matter how small the section you tackled.
So today we covered how to set yourself up for a successful closet purge. The flat surface scramble applied to clothing, Keep or Let's Go for every type of clothing decision, how to handle the maybe pile, the 4 most common sticking points and how to push through them, and how to put your keeps back in so the closet actually functions better than it did before.
And next episode, have a Magazine Moments episode coming up. Regular episode will be episode 15. We are moving from decluttering to building a closet you love. not a Pinterest closet, not a minimalist closet, a closet that actually works with your real life, makes getting dressed easier every single morning, and reflects who you actually are right now. Not fantasy you, actual you. And actual you deserves a really good closet.
So finish your purge block this week, fill up that maybe bag, drop your donations off, and come back ready to build something you love.
Absolutely. With that being said, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional.
And
And
as
as
always,
always,
keep
keep decluttering.